An independent investigation into the school bus company contracted by Boston Public Schools was announced today by Mayor Wu.
Yeah, the probe comes after a 5-year-old BPS student was hit and killed by a school bus driver in Hyde Park last month. NBC 10's Oscar Margain, he's joining us live from the bus yard in Hyde Park. Oscar, ultimately, what is this going to look like in terms of the investigation?
Well, this independent investigation really is going to be focusing on safety and performance of Transdev, which manages and trains hundreds of school bus drivers here in the district. Now, officials and residents here in Hyde Park continue to demand answers.
Cancel that company, get a different one.
Accountability and oversight.
Only we as parents can protect our kids.
Only some of the demands school parents and Hyde Park neighbors are calling for after 5-year-old Lenz Joseph was hit and killed by the school bus that dropped him off near his home in Hyde Park on April 28th. Nearly a month later, school and city officials announced an independent investigation into the safety policies and performance of the French-owned school bus company Transdev.
Will the city continue to work with this company?
So there's a bidding process that takes place for the school bus contract. Last round, only one company bid on that contract. Transdev was the sole bidder.
Mayor Michelle Wu said only recently has Transdev begun to share more data on their buses and drivers, adding there's an average of 1 to 2 incidents a day. When asked if she or the district knew of previous injury claims and lawsuits, she said this.
This is exactly why we need an independent investigation.
City Councilor at Large Erin Murphy on Wednesday called for a hearing into the bus company after finding out the driver, identified as Jean Charles, had an expired state-required certification on the day of the crash.
In the way that it seems as though they're not taking responsibility, and that's why we called for the hearing.
Transdev said in a statement, quote, "We're working with the city to support the review process and are fully cooperating with all aspects of the investigation."
If they're putting people into buses that shouldn't be in buses, you need to get a different company.
Aranza Bernabel doesn't let her 6-year-old ride the school bus out of safety.
It's just so saddening, and I think we should just be more careful with our kids.
And Mayor Wu did not provide a timeline for when this independent investigation would wrap up. She said it could take several months. Now, as for the driver, he resigned last week after being placed on administrative leave. Reporting live in Hyde Park, Oscar Margain, NBC 10 Boston.